In this video, I'll explain why I'm leaving Tmux behind and how I was able to substitute it with other tools. This is not a day of joy, as Tmux to me is like Buzz Lightyear for Woody. As a wise man once said, some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe. But none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy. So with all of that out of the way, let's go through what we are going to cover in this video. You're going to be able to see a list of the topics that I'll cover here. This is not like a configuration video because it would take us hours, but just going to go through the reasons, give you ideas, share inspiration. So maybe you can replace Tmux as well, or if you're having the same thoughts, gives you like a starting point. Let me first start with the song. I'm gonna start a radio out of this song. When a Blind Man Cries by Deep Purple. I think it's a perfect song for the occasion. Just gonna start a radio. I don't know what else is gonna play. Let's just give it a play here. And yep, let's go back to my terminal here. And why the switch? Let's start with that. So I had an interview with the creator of the Kitty terminal. His name is Kovid, and I asked him what his thoughts about Tmux were. He laid out all of the different reasons on why he does not use Tmux and why he thinks it's not like needed. I was not convinced, but I decided to give that a chance to entertain the idea. And here we are, a couple months after. I'm not using Tmux anymore. I switched over to Kitty. You're gonna understand why in a little while, but that's what started it. Does this mean that I cannot do any critical thinking and that I get easily convinced by others to do something? Pretty much. I also realized that I was not using Tmux, we could say, the right way, because if you're doing it in remote sessions, it makes sense. I don't use it on remote servers too much. I use it locally, well, exclusively locally, so I don't have a reason for Tmux, to be honest. It's just that at the time, the terminals that were available didn't offer the features that Tmux offered me, so I had to stick to Tmux. WezTerm did, but we'll talk about that in a little while. So we covered this and this. Okay, now Tmux windows and panes. That's something that you use a lot when you're using Tmux, right? So I'm doing that natively in the terminal now. So if I switch to this other session, right? I want to open a new tab, or yeah, and I want to open a Tmux window, which are called tabs in Kitty. Just open a tab, right? So I have 3 tabs here. I can close the tabs the same way that I close them in my browser, which is nice. I don't have to remember different shortcuts and all that. So that's great. What if I want to open panes? This is the way that I do it in Kitty. Notice that it has some sort of master layout. You can specify it. This is called the stack layout, but it's up to you. I can easily close them as well, and it works just fine. I don't use tabs and I don't use panes, to be honest. They're just for showing off. That's it. Well, there's a few cases in which they're useful, like you have to execute code in your terminal, you bring up a pane, execute the code there, hide it. We're gonna see that in a little while as well. Or if I'm in my home session and let's say that I need to SSH into my router, I open a new tab, I open that connection here. Or if I wanna monitor my Docker containers, I just run this and I leave that in a new tab, and I can basically see all my different containers running there. There, just made it a little bit smaller so you can see what's going on there. There, it fits the screen. So besides that, I don't use tabs for anything else. Panes, just when I need to execute code, like I said, but I'm gonna demo that as well later on. So this is built in to the terminal now. I don't use Tmux for that the way that I did in the past. The next item that we have listed here is sessions with the Tmux-sessionizer. You're gonna notice that I'm switching to a different session with a keyboard shortcut. Okay, so I'm just gonna type something here. My keyboard switches to that session. What if I wanna go to my notes? Okay, I go to my notes session there. Notice that I have some notes in there that I was taking yesterday. So pretty useful to switch between projects, right? So if I wanna go back to my home session, if I wanna go to my dot files, if I wanna go to my notes, if I wanna go to my blog post, I don't have to see I have seen other people navigating between projects and it's fucking painful, man, because they usually go to the home session. Then even if you use Sockside, it's fine. You can do this and switch to the downloads or to the dot files, latest directory, or to Obsidian, then open Neovim. No, it's just a waste of time. I just go to each session with a shortcut pretty fast. I'm not gonna show you how I do that, but I'm going to leave the link to this video in the video description so you can go and check it out as well. It's gonna be listed there, okay? I have a key map in Neovim that allows me to copy all of the links from this file. So if I come here, type links, I don't remember what the link was, this one, copy all links in the current buffer to the clipboard. So I'm just gonna copy all of them and leave them in the video description. You can go and check it out in case that you want to know how to configure it. So I'm in the daily note here. Okay, you can look at the dates on the top left corner, but I usually switch between two notes. Let's say that I'm writing something here and I'm in my dot files, taking a look at something. I need to switch between these two notes a lot. And I do that with the alternate session, which is something that I did in Tmux as well a lot. In my case, if I type the letter B, it's gonna switch back to the previous session. Okay, so I just hold B for 300 milliseconds and it switches back to the alternate session. Let's say that I'm in the daily note session. I switch to my dot files, same thing, just type B, goes back, and I'm just switching between the last two sessions. What if I'm in my dot files in my notes? Same thing, just type B, and I just go back between these two notes. That's something that I do a lot and something that is pretty useful as well. I explained this as well in the Kitty sessions video, so go and check it out. It's gonna be explained there. The daily note is something that I did with Tmux as well. You're gonna notice that this is a Kitty session. What you see here on the top left corner, this is the session name. That's actually all I need. I don't need anything else in my Tmux bar. I just need to see the Tmux session. That's it. And this is dynamic. Depending on the day, the Tmux session will be created. If I go to my daily note, yesterday, when I went to my daily note, it opened the day before, this one, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, and I created a few of them for the rest of the week or for the rest of the month, I think. So um, that's something pretty useful, works fine. It gets created automatically depending on the day. I have a script for that. I explained it in detail in a video. It's something that I used in Tmux, but I'm doing in Kitty right now as well. I'm going to leave the link to this video as well in the video description so you can go and check it out. The next item that we have on the list is Tmux copy mode. I did that in Tmux a lot. What is that? So if I go to my home session here, right? What is Tmux copy mode? This is my regular terminal. I'm not inside Neovim here. It's just my terminal, and this is where I execute commands, basically. But a lot of the times, you need to navigate this, copy and paste somewhere else. I do it in Neovim now, because Kitty has that functionality. I'm gonna type the letter M in my keyboard here. Just gonna leave it pressed. You know what? I'm going to bring up Keycaster so you can see what keys I'm typing because I forgot to bring it up. Okay, so there we go. Let me just move it around here to the center there. Okay, so if we're here and I type the letter M, you're gonna see that something happens. This shows up. This is Neovim. It opened my scrollback in Neovim. So I can use my Neovim key maps. I can do Control U to go up in here, Control D to go down, and I can use Flash to jump to different locations. Let's say that I want to jump to these downloads parts, downloads, type G. This is flash.nvim. So if I type G, I'm gonna jump here. What if I want to select this? Want to copy it to my terminal, and let's say that I just don't want to. I want to select instead this, right? I want to copy it to my clipboard. If I type Y, it's going to copy it and quit automatically out of Neovim. And let's bring up the clipboard, and you're gonna see that is listed there. So this scrollback was available in Tmux. It's called Tmux copy mode. It's pretty limited, to be honest. I like it better in Kitty because I can basically use my Neovim configuration. It's complex. It's a little bit complex because it's my Neovim config, but slightly modified so that it loads faster, basically. Okay, so you can do a lot of stuff there. I covered this in a video. I'm going to leave it as well in the video description. Now, for this, I did create 2 videos. The first one was using kitty-scrollback.nvim, but then I found out that you can do it without a plugin. So I'm not using this anymore, but I'm actually doing it this way. And this video is the one that I'm going to leave linked in the video description, so you can go and check it out. The next item that we see here on the list is vim-tmux-navigator, okay? I do that now with vim-kitty-navigator. So what is it? Let's say that I jump here to my .files, okay? And I open a pane on the right hand side. I need a way to navigate between the panes that are outside Neovim. Notice that these are kitty panes. These are not related at all with the process that is running here on the left, which is Neovim. So you need a way for Kitty to know how to switch between Kitty and here the application on the left, which is Neovim, and then from Neovim back to the pane on the right. So notice that I can do that with Control. Just gonna press Control, and with Vim motions, I have Control here in my A key because I use homebrew mods. I use Canada. I have a lot of videos about that. You can go and check them out. But if I go up, down, I can go to the left, I can go to the right. Notice that it switches between Neovim and the Kitty pane itself, right? So it works quite well. Just gonna close these 3. And what if I open a pane here inside Neovim? It also works. Just gonna type letter SR, gonna bring up Crockfire, which is the plugin that I use for search and replace. Extremely powerful and wonderful, by the way. And I can switch between these panes as well, and works just fine. Okay, Control as well, H and L. Okay, there's no difference there. Let me quit out of this. Let's go back to my daily notes. I also have a video about that. I'm going to leave it in the video description. So why not Ghostty? I actually was using Ghostty for quite a long time, but there's a few things that I'm missing in Ghostty. Doesn't have sessions. I think they're planning on working on sessions after the Windows build. Not even sure why they're gonna create a Windows build, but all right. So that's it. That's basically the only reason. Ghostty doesn't have sessions. I use sessions and I cannot live without them. So I'm not moving back to Ghostty if there are no sessions. I like the cursor animation more in Ghostty, but yeah, I don't care too much about that. I just rather my terminal to be useful and practical than just cosmetic. If I'm not mistaken, I had an interview with Gregory Anders. He is a Neovim maintainer, but also Ghostty maintainer, and it doesn't have a scroll back. What is the scroll back? Is what we looked at here when we are in the terminal and we can navigate our history, right? So if I'm not mistaken, Ghostty does not have this feature yet, and that's something that I cannot live without as well. I'm not exactly sure about this last one, so if someone knows in the comments, please let me know. And the only reason why I decided to go with Kitty is because after the interview that I had with Kovid, he reached out via email like a couple months after and told me, hey, you told me to let you know when Kitty sessions were available. And yeah, thanks, Kovid. He doesn't watch my videos, but that's the reason why I switched to Kitty, because he implemented Kitty sessions. And I want to think that it was because of me. I'm a huge fan of the guy now. Go and check that interview out. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. If you read books, if you're into Calibre, he is also the creator of the Calibre tool. God damn, it's a wonderful tool. If you want to convert ebooks, send them to your Kindle and all that stuff. It's just amazing. So that basically covers why not Ghosty. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this. Why not Alacritty? I don't think Alacritty has sessions. I haven't even looked. But the problem with Alacritty with me is that I cannot view images in it, right? So if I switch to my node sessions, I bring up this file, the one that I bring up all the time, right? Images in Neovim, and here you're gonna notice that if I put my cursor on the top of an image, I can view it. I cannot do that in Alacritty, so that just gets rid of Alacritty as an option for me, because I do view images for my blog post mainly, and sometimes for my notes inside Neovim, okay? Why not WezTerm, right? Because WezTerm does have sessions. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why I don't use WezTerm. The configuration is in Lua, just like in Neovim, but when I go to the main repo and I see all those issues open, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I understand that not all of those are issues. A lot of them are just discussions, and it's just one person dealing with the repo. And I know how the open source community tends to be difficult to close all of them, read them, would require like a lot of time to deal with all those. But I don't know. I don't have anything against WezTerm. I just prefer Ghosty with Tmux over WezTerm. And between Kitty and WezTerm, I just prefer to go with Kitty. For no specific reason. I'm not saying WezTerm is a bad thing. It's a wonderful terminal. I did use it. I have a lot of videos about it, but I'm just going with Kitty at the moment for no specific reason. Now, this is one of the big points that are brought up all the time. What about persistence in remote sessions? What am I talking about here? So when you SSH into a device, let's say that this is a remote device, right? This storage 3 server, right? Or a Kubernetes cluster, let's see, SSH cube CP3, right? Let's say that I SSH into this device. Now, let's do storage 3. That is a device that I accessed recently. Let's SSH into this device. And it is locally in my network. But let's say that this was a remote server that was, I don't know, in the cloud or something, right? And let's say that you need to run a process that is going to take a long time. If your connection is dropped, that process is going to be terminated. So whatever you were doing in the background is not going to be completed. And that's going to be a little bit disruptive, right? So Tmux is useful in that specific scenario. Why? Because you can start the Tmux process on a remote server, and what you do is going to live under that process. So what happens if your SSH connection is dropped? Nothing, because what you were doing is still running inside the Tmux process in that remote server. So what do? You just attach to that process, again, the Tmux process, and you just continue where you left. You could even do that in a remote machine, right? In a different machine, attach to the Tmux session that you created on the remote device, and you will be able to continue on that session. So that's pretty useful. That's not something that I'm concerned about, to be honest. I have been managing servers without Tmux that way for a long time, and it has never been an issue for me. But I understand that there's people that need to execute stuff that runs in the background for maybe hours, let's say that it's a process that takes hours to complete, Tmux would make sense in that way. There are other solutions out there, but I haven't researched a lot because I don't need it, to be honest. And if I do in the future, I will use Tmux for that, I think. But so far, not needed in my specific workflow. But I'm pretty sure sysadmins use this a lot. I would like to hear in the comments how you use this, why, and why you find it useful in remote servers. Like I said at the beginning of the call, I was using Tmux the wrong way. I was using it just with local sessions, which is what I'm doing here. All of these sessions are locally in my terminal. These are not in remote servers, right? So um, kitty sessions is more than enough for me, at least. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Images in Neovim. I already showed you how images work in Neovim. They worked with Tmux fine. There was no issue with that at all. But it seems that there's issues with WezTerm when you're trying to view images and you're using Tmux. So with or without Tmux, you can still view images depending on the terminal that you use. In Kitty and in Ghosty, I was using Tmux and I didn't have issues with images, but some issues in my Discord have reported that in WezTerm, there's issues with images. Probably a skill issue on their side because I was able to view images in WezTerm without issues. There's just a few things that I need to do. I have videos about that, but I'm not quite sure as I don't use WezTerm as my daily driver. All right, so let's mark this as done as well. There's a lot of things that I'm missing to implement, okay, that I just haven't had the time to do, but I'm pretty sure that they're doable. One of them is this terminal toggle. So let me switch to Ghosty, just gonna open it, and I'm just going to go to, here, I'm in my .files here, okay? Notice what's gonna happen when I press Alt-T. Notice that it opens a Tmux toggle on the right-hand side, okay? And something pretty interesting. Notice where this directory is. It's in the same directory where the file lives. .files latest, bye. But let me switch to a different file in Neovim, okay? So let's say that I go to this mini.files file, okay? And if I bring up the toggle, you're gonna notice that it automatically changes to that directory, right? Neovim Lua plugins. Let me hide it so you can see Neovim Lua plugins. Because of the resolution of the screen right now, you cannot see this too well. Looks weird, but with the normal resolution, it looks normal. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So there makes a little bit more sense. It's configurable. You can decide if you want the toggle to show on the right or on the left. You can switch between this and the toggle. Doesn't work right now because I uninstalled the Tmux Navigator plugin. I remember the name. But yeah, that's something that I have not implemented, but I will in the future. In Kitty, I asked Kovid and it seems to be possible, but I just haven't had the time. I have a video about this toggle, but I'm not sure why I didn't add it here. So I'm going to add it and it's going to be in the video description as well. Okay, you'll be able to find it there. What about this next item here, Tmux cleanup script? I had a script in Tmux that automatically closed the sessions that I didn't access in 2 hours. Why? Because you just tend to accumulate a lot of garbage. There's people that's gonna say, oh yeah, I have 30 sessions open at a time. That's bullshit, man, because you don't navigate between more than 3, 4, 5 sessions maximum. There could be like an extremely special case of someone that needs 30, 40 sessions. But usually, what are you doing in the terminal? Just editing your kitty config file, your color scheme. Come on, man. Don't lie to yourself. So the script just gets rid of the ones that I don't access in 2 hours. Basically to save up on a little bit of resources, right? Because I usually have Neovim open on each one of the sessions. This cleans them up, just closes them. And if I need to open them, it opens them pretty fast. I haven't done that in Kitty, but that is doable as well. I can see which sessions are open, close them. Yeah, that's not a tough task. I will do it at some point. So I have a video on this cleanup script in case that you want to learn about it as well. It's in my .files, okay? Now, this toggle the pane and auto CD, the way that I showed you, I have a video in which I demo how to configure that in Tmux. I haven't done it in Kitty, but it's possible to do it as well. I just haven't had the time, but I will at some point, okay? If you want to check the video for Tmux, it's gonna be in the description. Now, this is something that I have not implemented as well. Notice that I'm going to press here, hyper TN, and something's gonna happen. This is the Tmux-sessionizer, which I already replaced in Kitty. Part of it, right? That's the way that I navigate to the sessions with a single shortcut. But this list of files, I have not implemented it in Kitty yet. The list of directories. These are sessions that I don't access all the time, but that I like to access from time to time. Like for example, this Club 80, notice what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna hit enter here and it's just going to create a session, a Tmux session for this and jump to it, right? So hyper TN shows me this. What if I wanna go to a different one that I don't go to all the time? Like this scripts public, for example, right? Create a Tmux session and switch it to it. I don't do that too often. I don't need it a lot. So I'm still using Ghosty in those scenarios with Tmux, but I will at some point implement it in Tmux as well, right? And yep, just wanted to show that as well. Something else that I have not implemented is this method of executing scripts that I have. So you're gonna notice that in my keyboard, I'm gonna press S, just gonna leave it pressed, and I'm gonna type the letter T. And let's do it again, ST. Look at this menu that shows up. Just shows me a list of scripts that I execute very often. Like if I want to set up my OBS, depending on the type of video that I'm recording, I have this, right? So I use Tmux for this. I have not implemented that in Kitty yet. Why? Because if you notice, I do it in a Tmux window here on the right. These are two different windows in Tmux. It's confusing. It's the same as tabs in any other terminal. So just bring up a window to bring this up, this FCF menu, then I execute the script. That is something that I could do in Kitty as well pretty easily. I'm pretty sure that there must be like a floating window that I could use in Kitty or something. I don't know. In Linux, I've seen that Tony uses dmenu, which is pretty awesome. I would like to use that, but I realize that it's available for Arch only. I'm not sure if there's an alternative in Mac or something. If you have any suggestions to dmenu, or I don't know what those guys talk about as well. Rofi? I don't know. I just hear them talk all those made up words and I don't understand what they're talking about. Well, my audience is mainly Linux. So if you guys, well, if there's a base users out there from my community that use macOS that know about a deep menu alternative, let me know. I'm not going to try a repo that has 5 stars that I don't trust. No, just please share something that is established and something that is maintained. If you know about something, I would like to give it a try. Okay, so what else do we have? Okay, I already went through this as well. Things to implement. My Tmux configuration. In case that you want to understand how I use Tmux, let me open my Tmux configuration file. It's a pretty long file. It has 500 lines and it was quite involved. I had a lot of stuff. My Tmux configuration file. I had it pretty customized. Here's where I had the Tmux-sessionizer part from the Primeagen and a lot of stuff there. Everything is 100% well documented. I don't do it because of you. I do it because of me, because I forget stuff and I don't know why I did stuff. So go and check it out. Pretty sure that even if you're an advanced Tmux user, or if you think you are an advanced Tmux user, you're gonna find a lot of tricks there that maybe you can create videos about afterwards. So what's the relationship between Tmux and I at the moment? Are we enemies and or are we friends? We're good friends. I love Tmux. We had a good run. I used Tmux for a long time. It's a wonderful and amazing tool. I even tried to interview the Tmux creator. What's his name? I don't remember it. He doesn't do YouTube. He doesn't watch YouTube. I will keep trying. Would be extremely amazing to have him in a video. Imagine having him, Kovid, and the Ghosty guy. I don't know, the WezTerm guy, the Rio terminal guy in a video would be amazing. I think they all hate him because creates a lot of trouble for terminal maintainers. But yep, I will use Tmux when I need to use Tmux. I don't have anything against it. The scenario in which I see myself using it could be remote servers, maybe. Don't have a use case for it yet. And I just don't want to use it to say that I use it. No. If I'm going to use a tool, it's because there's a reason, not just because. So the last thing that I want to do is thank the CEO, Web23, web23.com. I also want to thank the supporters, the people that have the memberships in YouTube. Really appreciate it, guys. That's what keeps the channel going. If you don't want to become a member, but you want to support me, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video as well so that it gets more views. Because that's the point of making videos, you know? It's not just creating videos and that nobody takes a look at them. No, that's not the point. Also, other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that all of the interviews that I do with other people, like the terminal creator, Kovid, or the interview that I had with DistroTube, TJ, and the Neovim guys, the Emacs guys, with Prot on the Emacs side of things, with other terminal creators, all of those are available as podcasts in all the different platforms: Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, and all of those things. So if it's missing from one of them, just let me know and I'm going to add it there. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you think about all this. If you have any suggestions, if you have any tricks, tips, share them in the comments down below. That's it for this video. Hope it was useful. I'll see you in the next one.